I'm going to say something that might make a few of you raise an eyebrow, or maybe two. I believe Vacheron Constantin is the greatest watchmaker in the world, period. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you say that when the watches lose so much value on the secondary market? And trust me, I get it. The data doesn't look great. You've got flagship models like the Overseas Tourbillon taking a $54,000 nosedive, and the Patrimony Perpetual Calendar losing over $52,000. That's the kind of drop that makes you reconsider your life decisions. But here's the thing. Value isn't only about resale value, at least not for me. Vacheron's greatness isn't measured by what the market says today. It's about something deeper. Legacy, craftsmanship, integrity. And today, I want to show you why, despite all the red ink on the charts, I still consider Vacheron the pinnacle of watchmaking. Let's start with the legend, because if you're going to argue that a brand is the greatest, you've got to back it up. Vacheron Constantin was founded in 1755, which makes it the oldest continuously operating watchmaker in the world. Think about that for a second. They've been making watches for nearly 270 years. They've survived the French Revolution, both world wars, the quartz crisis, basically every disaster you can think of, and they never stopped crafting watches. That alone is legendary. But it's not only about survival. Vacheron has been the choice of kings, emperors, and icons throughout history. King Faoud, the first of Egypt, has one. I hope I pronounced that right. Napoleon Bonaparte wore one. There is even a legend that a Vacheron was constructed in a Wright brothers workshop. And then there's the reference 57260. If you don't know, it's the most complicated watch ever made. 57 complications. That's more than a watch. That's a wrist-sized supercomputer. They didn't have to make it, but they did, just to show the world what they can do. And let's not forget their artistry. The Metier D'Art collection is a masterclass in craftsmanship, hand engraving, enameling, gem setting. These watches are far more than timepieces. They are wearable masterpieces. And if you ever held one in your hands, you know exactly what I mean. So with all this history, artistry, and technical mastery, you'd think their watches would dominate the secondary market, right? Well, not exactly. Things get a little weird. Despite everything I just said, Vacheron's market performance is, let's say, complicated. The lone bright spot is the steel Overseas self-winding 4520B, which is traded at a modest premium of $2,690. For the rest, ouch. The Overseas Tourbillon is down, like I said, $54,000. The Patrimony Perpetual Calendar down $52,000. Even the hyped Historique 222, which collectors were drooling over just a year ago, is trading below retail. And it's not only the big ticket models. The Patrimony, Traditionnel, and even the 56 line are all taking hits. So the question is, how can a brand with this much prestige perform so poorly on the secondary market? Well, we're going to break it down. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. The secondary market isn't rational. It's driven by trends, scarcity, and what's hot right now. And right now, the market is obsessed with steel sports watches, integrated bracelets, hype models. You know the drill. This is why the steel Overseas performs better than Vacheron's other collections. It checks all the boxes for what the market wants today. But here's the thing. Vacheron Constantin isn't about chasing trends, and honestly, that's one of the reasons I respect them so much. While other brands are laser focused on one or two hype models, Vacheron maintains a diverse catalog. They're still making high complication dress watches like the Patrimony and the Traditionnel, which are the pinnacle of classical watchmaking. They haven't abandoned precious metals, hand finishing, or artistry just because the market says steel is cool. And yeah, maybe that hurts them in the short run, but it's also what makes them great. Vacheron is playing the long game. They're not here to be trendy. They're here to make timeless masterpieces. This brings me to my big realization. The market data doesn't mean Vacheron makes bad watches. Of course not. It means the market is currently undervaluing what Vacheron represents. And for collectors, that's an incredible opportunity. Let me put it this way. You can pick up a Patrimony Contemporary self-winding 85180 for under $12,000. That's a watch with finishing that rivals any Patek Philippe Calatrava. Or how about the Traditionnel Complete Calendar 4010T, a stunning piece with a Geneva seal, trading at nearly half its retail price. For me, Vacheron's greatness isn't measured by resale value. It's measured by the commitment to their craft, their history, their integrity. They've been doing this for 270 years, and they've never compromised on what they stand for. That's the kind of brand I want to support. So here's my takeaway. If you're looking for a watch to flip for a quick profit, Vacheron isn't for you. But if you're someone who values artistry, history, and intrinsic quality, if you want to own a piece of horological art, Vacheron Constantin is unmatched. And honestly, I'd rather wear a watch that tells a story than one that just tells the time. Because at the end of the day, greatness isn't about chasing trends, it's about staying true to yourself. But what do you think? Does secondary market performance matter to you, or do you care more about the history and craftsmanship behind a watch? Let me know in the comments. Remember, time is money, but a Vacheron, well, that's timeless. Unless you're talking about second market, then it's just a really good deal. And one last thing, next time, we're going to tackle an even bigger question. Is the entire category of dress watches in trouble, or is this just a temporary trend? Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.